I've taken it off-roading.
Looks like one. I just Googled the Chevrolet Tahoes. They look big.
They are mean, and they are aggressive trucks. Or SUVs, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wanted a Chevy Tahoe. And it could take anything. I've been in an accident with it. Nothing happened to it. Like, legitimately, the bumper just slightly moved. And I had the paint. Someone crashed into the back of me, and my fucking tailgate just crushed the back of their fender,
Ooh.
and mine was completely fine.
Dang.
It's gone through animals. It's very trustworthy. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my that's the car that I wanted. And I found one for the dude wanted to sell it for $2,200. And I was like, that's within my price range. So I drove over there with $2,000 cash, and my friend gave me an extra $200. And I pulled up at his house. I managed to talk him down to just the plain $2,000 flat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some might look at this and be like, oh, wow, congratulations, so you bought your own car. Yes, I did buy my own car, and I was proud of it. But looking back on it now, I should not have gotten a Tahoe when I'm living on my own and I have to drive fucking everywhere. Because while it is a tank, it uses up just as much gas as a tank.
Ooh. Yeah. That's so I was lucky I didn't have to buy my own car. My mom had her car that she had been paying off for a while. And then my grandpa came over to visit us from Mexico. And when he did, he brought his own, it's a Toyota 4Runner. And he was getting up there in age, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to move to Mexico officially. Like, I don't want to take this big car over there. Do you guys want to buy it? And I had saved up enough money. I had been saving for my own car. And I was like, sure, you want to sell it to me? And he agreed. And it is the biggest car I have ever driven. It is very similar to the Chevrolet Tahoe. And it is just a beast. It is like at least $40 on a good day. When prices are good, it's about $40 to fill up a tank. And the tank lasts... Oh no.
I don't know if it's on my side or... she disconnected, so it's probably her side.
Alright, let's try this. Can you hear?
After 7.
Test 1, 2, testing.
There we go. You're back.
You got it?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so what was the last thing you heard?
You were talking about how it was a tank.
Oh yeah, so it is a big-ass car. So I have this thing about naming my vehicles. So that big Toyota 4Runner is like it's a brown car. It is huge. And in my weird brain, I thought it looked like a bull. So I decided to name it El Toro. It feels like trying to control a bull when you're driving it. It is a 2005 Toyota 4Runner, so it's a little bit up there. And you can feel it in the steering. Its power steering fluid always runs out. And so it feels like you're driving a big, 16-wheel truck when you're trying to turn. And it takes so much gas to fill it up. And so my mom was like, I don't want you to crash this or get left or like deal with this. So you're going to have my car and I'm going to take the 4Runner. And so now I drive her little light blue 2013 Toyota Corolla. And I love it so much more. And FYI, I named that one La Bamba. But the 4Runner, El Toro, every now and then I have to drive it again. And every time I do, I'm like, I feel so tall. All the other cars are so low. I feel so powerful with the turning. And I don't know. The idea of actually owning for myself a big car like that, I'm like, yeah, that would be. Oh no, the gas is painful. It hurts. No, thank you.
Yeah, filling up gas is always just a little. My wallet cries just a little bit every single time I have to refill it up.
Oh man.
But I will say, while it may be a pain in the ass, um, it is iconic for me to pull up with it because everyone knows, like, everyone knows it's me when I pull up in it. They're like, "Oh, there's Phelps. That's his fucking Tahoe right there."
Wow, that's great. It's like a calling card.
It is. So I should say this. For those of you who are like living at home with your parents or anything like that, do not be ashamed to live with your parents. Take advantage of it whenever you can. Because A, you don't have to pay rent, hopefully.
I heartily recommend this. I am finishing school in my last year of college. I've lived at home the entire time because
Mm-hmm.
every time that I've thought about moving out, I do this exercise. It's something I read about back in high school, and it helps with that idea of wanting to move out. So, what I do whenever I get like a jonesing to like, I need my own place, I want to move out, I want my own place, I start Googling apartment listings in my area and the
Mm-hmm.
area I want to live. And then I start looking at how much a water bill is and electricity and are utilities included and how much does internet cost and how much would it cost to do this and this and this. And that shuts it down very quickly. Adult life is
Yes.
so expensive. And so if you don't have to move out yet, just hang in there a little longer.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Like, and I understand completely that living with your folks might seem a little restricting, and it is. Don't get me wrong, it is. But it is cheap, and that's you need something that's cheap and stable. Because I make a decent income. You know, I make I make almost $1,000 every paycheck. It's a nice little lump sum, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the military in general. It's a good starting point for young adults. But I need to pay my internet bill. I need to pay my cell phone bill. I need to pay my bill for the gym. I mean that's an optional thing, but you get my point. Things start adding up, and eventually, what ends up happening is with all those things piled onto each other, even without paying rent, I normally end off right before I get my next paycheck with $50, and that is an issue. Because that means
I get you.
If unless my rent was $50, I would be broke. So do not be in a rush to move out. Just wait till you're financially stable. Run the numbers, and even after all that, you may still end up struggling, but at least you'll be more prepared than those people who turned 18 and ran out of home.
Yeah, I get it, like, completely. And, like, don't get me wrong, like, I still struggle with living at home and just, like, not having that sense of privacy that you would get if you moved out. But I'm very lucky. The way my house is set up, my room is like an apartment add-on that the previous owners installed. And so to access my room from the main house, you have to go down a couple of stairs, down a hallway, and then you're in my room. But I'm very lucky in that I have a door that goes right in and out of my bedroom. So it makes back in high school, it made sneaking out very easy and getting back in very, very easy. Nowadays, though, it's just it helps a lot because for nursing school, I do clinicals a couple days every week, which means I'm on a nurse's schedule, meaning I will leave the house at 5 in the morning and come back at 3 p.m., or sometimes I'll leave at 5 and come back at 11. And it makes it so much easier having what's basically my own apartment added onto the main house. So
Yeah.
I'm very lucky with that. But it helps being able to live at home. I don't have to pay rent. And the cool thing is, I'm still working, I'm still earning my own paycheck, and I pay for my own gas, for my car, for any upkeep that it needs. Um, any food or anything that I want to get or that I need for class, I am able to get that by myself. So if you
Hmm.
have the option of staying at home and like slowly taking on more and more responsibilities of adulthood, I say that in quotations, slightly sarcastically, but it makes it so much easier than just, hey, I turned 18, I'm buying an apartment. Oh shit, I didn't realize it has all this.
Oh fuck, I don't make nearly as much as I thought.
Right.
Cause I almost ended up that way. Uh, Back when I was in a relationship, the girl
Oh no,
they
Corey, you're coming in and out.
okay, hold on. So back when I was in high school, back when I was in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, I had a girlfriend who was one of those people that was like, they went to high school, but then they had a job, and their job
Mm-hmm.
paid well.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in
Mm-hmm.
high school, you're not really sure I mean, you might, but you're not really sure what a good paying job actually is, especially since you have
Experience with it.
no experience. If you work your
Mm-hmm.
minimum wage job, and like in Arizona it's like 10.50 an hour, and then you see someone making $20 an hour, you're like, wow, that person is successful. So anyway, she she was always talking about how she couldn't wait to move out. She was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my god, it could just be me and you. We can split the rent and we'll be good. And I was like, oh, you're right. I make about 400 a fucking paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you make about double that. And the rent's only $800. So I can cover rent and you can, we'll split it. Let me tell you, if I had gone through with that plan, I would have been homeless within a month.
Oh man, that's right. Oh, teenagers have so much innocence when it comes to those things. It lends itself to so much optimism when you just, I make this much and you make that much. We can totally do this.
If we put those two together, because I have done addition, that is covered in Algebra 1 too. But
I know how to set up a budget. I have this much money, and Chick-fil-A costs this much money, and we've already paid for this, so I'm good.
that's all I need in life is rent and Chick-fil-A. No, no, not even close.
Mm-mm.
But no, that's a good point too. Because we should probably start wrapping this up. But as an
Mm-hmm.
adult, relationships in particular are very difficult. Not to continue, but to start. Finding someone that is both a person of the desired sex, and B, that person is someone that you actually find interesting is a very hard thing to do.
It really is.
And some people are
Honestly,
maybe
and
like, some people are like, oh, it's so easy with Tinder and all these dating apps nowadays, but it is definitely 100% not. Because,
okay, so I have a dating app story. I'll let you finish your thought, and then I'll tell this story, and then we can probably start wrapping it up.
okay. But, yeah, let me just finish it up by saying,
Mm-hmm.
adults, when you get to like a certain part in your life, you start to realize that either A, you can't